episode of Fast Track Chats. I am your host, Taegan Knowland, and joining me today is a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series driver, Kaden Honeycutt. Kaden, thank you for being here today with us.
Of course, buddy. Thank you for letting me be part of it.
Now let's start with you in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. You are racing the number 45 car for Nice Motorsports. And earlier in the season, you picked up a 6th place at Atlanta and a 12th place at Bristol. Two amazing finishes and getting that top 10 in there. But this Friday, you have a race hopping back in the race car at Martinsville.
Yeah, so I feel like we'll have a good chance at Martinsville. We have thankfully started off on the right foot at Nice Motorsports. I've had a lot of chasing to do against some other Chevy drivers, mostly Spire and McAnally, to reach back to where we were last year. Everybody just got better over the off season. So yeah, a good finish at Atlanta. Was my career best, and then going to Bristol, we were hoping to be a little bit better than what we were, but we'll have to take something back different what we had there. So, two good races, two good solid races with no mistakes and no penalties, and everything went smoothly. So hopefully we'll keep that rolling and go in Martinsville tomorrow night and see if we can try to win us a clock.
Yeah, you had like you said, two amazing finishes, and then hopefully you can get that clock tomorrow or Friday night. What is one thing that most people, I guess, would not think of or consider what happens in the shop over the week preparing for a race?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that people don't see. That obviously the crew chief takes a lot of credit for being the brains behind the setup and putting the truck together. But honestly, like the car chief is the one that puts all the setup stuff together. So without the car chief, the crew chief would have to do it himself. So Frank, my car chief, does an excellent job every single weekend. He doesn't really make any mistakes whatsoever. I think that's what makes him so good at his job, and him and Cole do an excellent job doing what they need to, and doing it faster than anybody else. So they do a great job while they make sure that our crew chief does trust Frank enough to give him the setup and what he needs to do to the truck, so that way he can start planning for next week's coming to be better for whenever next week show up. So that's what a lot of things go on in the shop, and car chiefs are very important.
Yeah, sounds like you have amazing crew chief and car chief. But you're racing 12 races this season, and two of those races bring you to my hometown track, Kansas Motor Speedway. If you were to rank it, where would Kansas be on your rankings out of NASCAR tracks?
Yeah, I haven't had the best races at Kansas in my short times. A couple of times that I've been there. I haven't really had good quality track time. I haven't really had very good seat time on in a truck like Nice Motorsports, and I haven't really understood how to work a mile and a half at Kansas, throttle points, and how long to not lift, and how to stay in the throttle for a longer period of the run. I haven't really got that down yet, but hopefully for this year, I've been training at Kansas for the past couple months on how to be better there, so that way we can go into Kansas and try to obviously run up front and run well like they did last year in the fall with Carson. So I'm trying to figure that out, and hopefully when we get there, I'll know what I need to be doing and try to run what we're supposed to.
Yeah, sounds like what you've said, that you've had some tough races, like you said, and best of luck whenever you come down here to Kansas. But when it comes to racing, there's a ton of that out there, and I mean a ton. But to you, what do you think the most important is?
Man, that's tough. Like everything just has to go the way it needs to go. Like I would say, people say you got to have luck, right? But Sometimes like luck isn't really just made; it's really just sometimes it just happens. Some people say sometimes you have to make your own luck, but then you try to make your own luck and it doesn't work out. So there's just a lot of things got to go into play, and when some of these races, especially NASCAR races, a lot of things got to go in your hands to be able to win. Um, Time over distance, over a pit stop, over a green flag run, stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely hard, but the most thing that you try to find more than anything in NASCAR racing is pure luck, especially in truck racing.
That sounds like you've had some luck and a ton of like skill and luck put into this season, having your sixth place at Atlanta and then your 12th place at Bristol. But for all of our viewers out there, Kaden is also racing in the eNASCAR Cole Series for Junior Motorsports. Now, Kaden, I know you do a lot of sim racing, iRacing. Do you, I guess, like dedicate your success to it?
Obviously, I do this quite a lot, so um, I would say so. Like when at the times back in 2018, 19, and 20, I was not racing full time asphalt seasons. I was racing full time dirt seasons, and this is what I would get on all the time to get myself ready for when it was time to run a full asphalt season, and to be prepared and be successful right off the bat and not waiting so long to be successful, like mid part into part of the year. Needed to be good off the get go whenever that opportunity did come. So iRacing is really a big tool for me as just flat out racing every other hour or every hour, and just building racecraft, understanding what to do when you go to each and different racetrack and different type of vehicle. So yeah, that's iRacing has definitely helped me with that.
Yeah, sounds like this year you've had a lot of prep for Kansas and obviously other tracks that you might struggle with, and just every week racing the tracks that are upcoming. Now, when it comes to iRacing, are you usually running practice laps? Are you racing league races, or is the license or hosted races out there?
I do a couple officials here and there, not really too much often like I used to, but mostly this is honestly really all testing. Like sim testing is really just for coke races. We do 2,000 laps a week, or just to get ready for the next race, because we got to build the best setup that we possibly can to win in these coke races is so difficult. Talk about luck. Honestly, I take back that truck racing is more luck. Kind of the Coke Series is honestly more about luck than anything, especially for how short the races are and the way they can play out. But yeah, I like doing it. I enjoy it. It's definitely hard building the setup every other week to compete against 39 other drivers that are best in the world that do this. So yeah, and we're all going at 100 grand. Like there's not too many esport leagues that go and run for $100,000. So we all want to win that money, and that's why it's taken so serious now.
Yeah, obviously a lot goes in a sim. Like you said, it helps you with prep, but also like you said, you most time goes in a sim, and most of that's the Coke series. But you also have to think about whenever you're racing the Coke series. I feel like you also have to think about the time that you have to put in for the race. That's coming up that you have to race if there's a Coke race in that same week, And I do some sim racing. I watch the Coke series, and I'd love to be in the Coke series one day. Now, for me, practice laps, they get a bit boring for me. So do you, if they've ever gotten boring to you, did you like if they've gotten boring to you, did you ever like play a game or just did something else on iRacing?
Um, you know, I wouldn't say doing practice laps is boring for me, but at the same time, sometimes it is, especially if I've done an abundant amount of laps already on building a setup to go faster, and I'm not finding any speed and running the same times or getting worse, then I'll get frustrated and I have to take a break and then come back and see if there's anything else that I missed on the setup that I need to try or do differently. Um, I'm always trying to find, the best 30 speed, 30 average speed. So I'm always competing against, honestly, myself to better my average over every single run. So yeah, sometimes the AI racing will help that, especially to race other cars and kind of see what their difference is between us and AI generated cars, and just to race around them and see what the car does in dirty air and such things like that. So yeah, there is definitely things other in iRacing that definitely bored me sometimes, but also as soon as that starts happening, me it kind of clicks back and puts me back into mental focus on what I'm really trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I know. I was just running some before we hopped on this call. I was running some practice laps at Nashville because we have a race coming up in our Bandolero cars. So now I'm gonna ask you just a few questions, not like racing questions, just some questions for you. So outside of racing, what was your favorite activity or game to do whenever you were my age?
Oh, and how old are you now? Forgot.
10.
Oh, you're 10. Oh my God, that was 10 years ago for me. Uh, I was really big into baseball when I was your age. I played baseball honestly a whole lot more than I did when I raced back in when I was started at 8 years old. Yeah, this it's really just baseball.
I played baseball for like a year. I didn't really like it. I've stopped, and now I played soccer. I played football, basketball, but I'll stop just to focus on racing. Now looking at baseball is like hearing my friends talk about it sounds pretty fun nowadays, and you wonder like I've quit every sport. Would I have quit baseball and like spend extra money on that stuff? I know my dad talks about that. A lot of finances goes into
Yeah.
racing. Can you tell us about a funny or embarrassing moment whenever you were in your childhood?
Oh boy. I would have to say the most embarrassing thing was when I was playing baseball, and uh, yeah, it was one game that I went 0 for 4 on strikeouts, and yeah, Dad didn't like that at all when I was about 12, 13 years old. So, and then the next game I went 4 for 4 with a home run and three doubles. So I was like, oh yeah, it wasn't embarrassing after all. But the most embarrassing I've been is striking out 4 times in a row when I was a kid and 12, 13 years old playing 12U, 13U baseball over at Ford Park.
You said your dad was bad. Were you mad?
I was pretty mad, yeah, because I didn't really understand why I was striking out, just looking at balls go past me, especially first pitches that were strikes right down the middle. Kind of stupid to pass up on those. So, yeah.
All right. If you won a 10-day trip for you and one guest, you could go anywhere in the world. Where would you go and who would that guest be?
I would have to say the guess is definitely my girlfriend Jess, and we would probably go. Oh, what was the place she was trying to tell me about? Started with the B. It was over. It was overseas, international. Um, Belgium or something like that. It was some forest type place that's has a beach and stuff like that. We really wanted to go there, and because I saw it and I really liked it, so yeah, I think that would be really cool to go to Belgium with her and experience that.
I've, I've never seen photos of Belgium, but I know a lot of places in Europe are nice, so that would probably be somewhere fun to go to. Based on what you know now, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Um, Biggest thing is know who to trust, uh, know who has your best interests at heart is your mom and dad at all times. It's really never going to be anybody else besides maybe one or two people in your life. I've had very fortunate people in my life that have really had my best interests at heart. And I still race with them as of today. So yeah, I would have said to know to pick and choose your battles, pick and choose who you trust and who you talk to, and lend your information to, and try to leave your career into their hands, and not into their hands, and do it yourself.
Yeah, I know that's one thing I feel like most people would say is like know who are really your friends, who like really want to be friends with you, and who you really want to be friends with, and who's loyal and honest to you. Now, and I feel like that's what most people would say because I feel like whenever I you hear it, like whenever you're growing up, that's when most people get like the more as unloyalists, like don't tell the truth always, and then they don't end up being your friends like in your childhood you would think, but they end up not. I guess. But me myself, I love snacking whenever I'm like hungry, but it's like not time for like lunch or dinner, like a big meal. So what are your top five favorite snacks?
Oh man, definitely cheddar goldfish, Sour Patch Kids, but the variety Sour Patch Kids. I don't like lemon. Wish they would make something different in Sour Patch Kids, but anyway, definitely white cheddar Cheez-Its. I think that's three. Um, the others, I love Pop Tarts. I don't know who doesn't love Pop Tarts.
Pop tarts are
Um,
amazing.
and the fifth one probably would be just peanut and M&Ms.
I prefer regular M&Ms, not peanut M&Ms. And I prefer regular, like what do you say, Cheez-Its over the white cheddar. I don't really like
Yeah.
the white cheddar, but everything else like Sour Patch Kids, amazing. Pop Tarts, love Pop Tarts. But now, Kaden, are you ready for the fast track questions? These are rapid fire questions. But are you ready? Is the question.
Yep. I'm good.
Okay. Oreos with milk or without milk?
Milk.
That's right. That's probably what most people would pick. I love milk with them, but movie nights or game nights?
Game nights.
I love me some movies. Don't play that many games, but dogs or cats?
Dogs.
I have my own dog, love him. I've never really been a fan of cats. Hiking or surfing?
Never done either, but I would rather probably do surfing.
Never done either. No, nice beach, nice mountain whenever you do both, so couldn't go wrong with any of them in my opinion. Smartwatch or like a traditional watch?
Smartwatch.
Amusement park or water park?
Amusement park.
I love water park way more. I know I went on this ride in Carowinds whenever I went to race at Charlotte. I
Hmm.
I went on this one
Which
big ride.
one?
It was the it was the
That it had the beetle on it?
Intimidator one.
Oh, okay. You're lucky. Every time I've gone, they've had it broke down.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It keeps on
Oh,
breaking down.
I did not like that whenever I got off of it. But would you rather be able to fly or breathe underwater?
Fly. Saves
No,
travel cost.
that's a good point. Um, Bumper cars with friends or with people that you don't know?
With friends. Seems strange to do it with strangers.
Yeah, not that. Same here. I mean, friends like you just like strangers. You're like don't know like them like you're all by yourself like with other people,
Yep.
but with your friends like you can you know friends or strangers really when in games like that. Salty or sweet?
Uh, this varies. Probably sweet.
Yeah, I feel like you can't go wrong with both are pretty high choices
Yep.
by people. Would you rather have weekly grocery shopping or get it when it's needed?
Weekly.
I think my mom does that weekly, so glad for that we don't do it as needed. Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
That probably would split some people. East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
I feel like both have pretty nice beaches. I've been to both East Coast and West Coast, but can't go wrong with either. Both have amazing, nice beaches. Would you rather sleep in or stay up late?
Uh, Stay up late, really.
So another one that would probably split people because like staying up late, it's not like sleeping in. Because sleeping in, if you have a job, you're gonna miss stuff. Like me, if I have school, I'm gonna miss stuff. If it's not on the weekend. But attend a party or host a party?
Uh, Probably attend.
Yeah, don't have to buy all that stuff for the people if you're hosting a party.
Yep.
Online shopping or in-store shopping?
In store.
That's a. I feel like most of these would split people. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I feel like the more majority would go with in-store shopping. Now, laundries or dishes?
Dishes.
I've done dishes once. I haven't done laundry though. I don't think I can. I'm too small. I can't. We have this one where like you have to like it's like you have to open a lid, and
Mm.
I'm pretty short, so I feel like I probably couldn't reach that. So I have this thing that I do where if I go to a new fast food place, I'll like rank the burger. Like I'll get there like just like a cheeseburger, like a hamburger, whatever they have, and I'll rank it. Now my number one is the Whopper from Burger King. Now, do you have a favorite fast food cheeseburger, hamburger?
Um, Oof. I'd probably would say the Five Guys burger would probably be up there for best fast food.
I've never had Five Guys.
Yeah,
If
you'll have to eventually.
I've heard it's really good though. So Kaden, I know you have some sponsors. You know you have to have some sponsors to do it all. You want to give a shout out to them?
Yeah, of course. For the NASCAR trucks, just want to thank Nice Motorsports, of course. Chevy Accessories for jumping on board this year, as well as Page KC, RD Shoe Company. Um, Everybody at the Nice Motorsports shop or Fad shop's been doing great. Phil Gould, Frank, Cole, LP, Devin, all my crew guys done such an amazing job so far this year. As far as late model side, just want to thank Page KC, David Page for the pro late model opportunity. And as far as late model stock side, I want to thank Tom Ussery Racing, Kenneth Packer, Fayetteville Heating and Air, Dreamer Motorsports, our RNS Race Cars. Yeah, just everybody that helps us out. Winsight Development on late model stock side as well. So I have a lot of great people in my corner this year. So yeah, we'll try to win some more races this year and hopefully win a NASCAR race for 2024.
Yeah, I know Dave Page too, and Page KC. I raced with his son. So glad that he's giving you an opportunity in his late model cars. I've actually been to their shop, and I think I hopped in one of their cars. I can't remember which one, but I hopped in one of them and like got the engine to start while I was in the car. It woke me up that day.
Yeah, I'm sure
and
it did.
Yeah, thank you, Kane, for joining us today on this episode of Fast Track Chats. And for everyone watching this, Kaden, if is racing Friday night, like I said at the start, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central Time on FS1. Kaden, good luck Friday and Saturday at Hickory and just the rest of the season that you have. And thank you everyone for tuning in and watching this episode of Fast Track Chats. I'm your host Taegan Knowland, and I will see you next time.